Trust Roy is here for entertainment. Good morning to your trust. What are we trusting you with this morning?
Good
Hi,
morning,
Joe.
Trust.
Hi, good morning, Olive. Well, so today in entertainment, you know how they say lending money you can't afford to lose is risky business? Well, it's even riskier business now for Ugandan comedian Uncle Mac, as he has come out to say an officer identified as Mugabe Joseph has threatened to harm him after the comedian requested repayment of a loan he gave the police officer earlier. Now, the comedian, whose government name is Mark Agaba, took to his Twitter account to report that his life is in danger after the officer promised to repay his kindness with rather extreme violence. Now, in the post, Mark revealed that the two entered an agreement where he gave the officer money and took his identification document as collateral. Mark post reveals that when the allocated time for the repayment arrived, the officer ignored him when the comedian began persisting in demanding for his cash to the point of reporting the debtor to his boss. The officer resorted to death threats in a bid to deter him from his pursuit. Uncle Mac is not just making claims. He seems to have brought out receipts from this conversation. And the chat posted, the phrase "you will die soon" and "death is inevitable" are glaring. But a lot of people are considering that bringing this to social media might just have put his case in jeopardy. Mark, on the other hand, hasn't said if he'll press charges, but I assume that since Mugabe's boss is already involved in this issue, maybe they might come to some resolution very soon, and Uncle Mark might get his money back. Now, in South Africa, after 6 weeks of the world being invested in the Amber versus Johnny Depp case, my next story might not really hold the fort to that, but it's still an update on a rather important case. Now, South African singer, actress, and dancer Kelly Khumalo might just be getting a breather as her lawyer, Magdalene Munsemi, has questioned the existence of an eyewitness who would testify against the singer. On Wednesday, defense attorney advocate Malesela Tefo confirmed to the Pretoria High Court that a witness will be testifying to seeing Kelly gun down the Bafana goalkeeper Senzo Meyiwa. Now, in a recent interview, Kelly's attorney literally discredited the eyewitness claim. I was able to obtain an audio recording of that conversation, and here is how Magdalene Munsemi, Kelly's attorney, had to say. It was kind of 40 minutes long, but I got you something.
That is ongoing against myself and my client, and the public persecution is something that we need to understand. You don't raise an allegation of your client pull the trigger by mistake. Now, that is something we need to know who's the eyewitness. We know that in the law of, in criminal law, it's based on fact, it's based on evidence that must be tested. And when we
Well, as I said, that audio was about 40 minutes long, but I was just able to get you a soundbite. So, legal battles are literally very messy, and I don't ever wish to get into any one of them. Well, that's all I have for you this morning on Entertainment, Joe and Oliver.
Great stories, Trust. Great stories. I think I'm more fascinated with the one that has got to do with me borrowing a police officer money, taking his ID card for collateral, and then ask, who does that?
I mean, who really does that? Collateral,
Why?
ID cards. You should be getting things like cars, as
Yeah.
collateral.
And then the threats. And I like the angle where people said, I think you've made a mistake bringing it on social media.
These days, we bring everything to social media, really.
Everything's on social media. Everything.
Trust, thank you so much for joining us with Entertainment News. Very quickly, before you leave, what are your plans for the weekend?
I plan to bugao today. Oh, I actually go for karaoke every Friday.
Oh, you
Oh,
do?
really? You sing?
Yeah, I sing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy. I mean, I trained Trust, by the way. Yeah, I was training him on some,
No,
on
don't
some lead
embarrass us.
vocal techniques,
So you plan to booga.
Oh, I plan to bugao.
In 5 seconds, give us your best booga challenge move. Trust,
I did not train him on that one.
thank you so much for joining us. You literally brought in so much light, but this is where we trust you to exit our studio.
Oh,
because
come
we
on.
trust
The
that we
word
need
plays. Come on,
On a
guys.
trusted note.
On a trusted note, we trust that we need to go and have breakfast so that you can trust us to be in best form, so we can be certain to return back on Monday with trustworthy news.
Oh,
All right,
my
that's
goodness.
fine.
That was 100%, man. You got it. Thanks for coming, Trust. Thank you.
Thank you,
Cheers,
Trust.
cheers, guys.